Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea Tranquility. Welcome to day 18 of albums that are 50 years old in 2023 as we are celebrating the birthdays, the anniversaries of all the great albums that were released in 1973. And specifically, since there are 31 days in January, we're picking out our 31 favorites together. 31 favorites from 1973. A really tough assignment. So many great albums. 31 was a chore, was hard. But I've kind of done it. You'll get a bonus episode at the end of the month where I'll just list off a lot of my other favorites. Again, I won't mention every single one of them. I'm sure there's going to be, Pete, but how come you never mentioned such and such? And I'm like, God, you can't mention everything, right? Because there are literally probably a couple hundred albums that I really like from 1973. Maybe not a couple hundred. Yeah, probably. Well, we'll see when I do the honorable mention. I haven't added up all the honorable mentions that I have because, of course, I got the 31 favorites I'm giving to each and every day. But the honorable mentions episode probably will be fairly lengthy. So anyway, this particular album that I'm going to talk about right now was released in September of 1973 for Island Records, produced by John Burns and the band, for Charisma Records and Atlantic Records, depending on whereabouts you were, or you are, or were. And it was the fifth album from this band. It is Selling England by the Pound from Genesis. What a magical album. What a magical album from a magical band. Of course, you know who the band is, right? Peter Gabriel on lead vocals and flute and whatnot, and odd percussion and tambourines and things. Tony Banks, Hammond organ, mellotron, electric piano, synthesizer, 12-string guitar, Steve Hackett, electric guitar, nylon classical string guitar, Mike Rutherford, 12-string guitar, bass, sitar, cello, bass pedals, Phil Collins, drums, percussion, backing vocals, lead vocals on More Fool Me, right? So, this is an absolutely magical album. If you were to come to me and say, Pete, Selling England by the Pound is my favorite Genesis album of all time, I'd be like, can't argue that, right? It's definitely a top 3 album for me, I think, right? Or top 4. It's hard, right? Because for me, you got Nursery Crime, Foxtrot, Selling England by the Pound, The Lamb, Trick of the Tail. To me, those are the best Genesis albums. Trespass, really damn good. Wind and Wuthering, really damn good, right? And then you have everything else. There's some really good stuff in the everything else. Well, a few pretty good things. But all the ones I just mentioned, to me, is the absolute cream of the crop. But anyway, back to this album, Dancing with the Moonlit Night. So good. One of their good, dramatic, kind of lengthy songs, right? What's the actual... 8 minutes. That's fairly lengthy, right? Great song. Great lyric. Great keyboards and guitars. I mean, this album, musically speaking, has so much great stuff. You got kind of like a little bit of a radio play, stab at radio play, a little radio hit for them. I Know What I Like in Your Wardrobe. That, up until this point, I think was the catchiest, most accessible song they had done. Then you got the monumental Firth the Fifth, one of the great prog rock songs of all time. Again, another epic 9 minutes, 40 seconds. Has an amazing... Tony Banks solo. Peter Banks, Tony Banks, Peter Banks, full army of yes. Tony Banks, get it straight, Pete, I know. It's late in the day. Great solo, and then, of course, from Tony, and then probably one of the great guitar solos of all time, and easily one of his most well-known guitar solos of all time from Mr. Hackett in Firth the Fifth. I mean, it's just absolutely just perfection. So dramatic, and what this guy can say in just a certain amount of notes takes other guitar players a whole career and thousands of notes to make a statement, right? So then you got, of course, More Fool Me, the lovely little More Fool Me, which is one of the shorter tracks on the album, just over 3 minutes. Then, of course, you got another little epic, The Battle of Epping Forest. So dramatic, so incredible. Amazing. When you have deep tracks like this, you're in for some good stuff, right? Battle of Epping Forest is easily a top 10 Genesis song for me. After the Ordeal, little instrumental there. Really, really nice track there. You got some great stuff from Hackett on that. Really, really nice stuff. Just great, the guitar interplay is just amazing. Then the lovely Cinema Show. All right, another lengthy track, just under 11 minutes long. Cinema Show is just absolutely gorgeous. Great keyboards, awesome vocals from Peter Gabriel. You know, Mr. Collins would actually go, and when Gabriel leaves the band, the Cinema Show would turn into a great vocal vehicle for him, because of course, you know, Phil, an amazing singer himself. And then of course the wonderful little Isle of Plenty to finish things off here. So yeah, just a magical album, selling England by the pound. Doesn't get much better than this. Like I said, a top tier Genesis album of all time. And that's my day 18 here, right? If you want to hear more about my opinions of Genesis, there is a old video here on the channel of me ranking the Genesis albums. I talk a lot about each of the albums, so if you want to go check that out, easy to find, and I think we've talked about this album quite a bit on In the Prog Seat, so you can find some videos probably where this is brought up at some point or another. So anyway, but that's it for me for today. Let us know what you think of Selling England by the Pound by Genesis in the comments below, as well as your pick for day 18, and visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, all together, all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and click on that notification bell so you get alert of all of our content as it posts, and please do hit the like button before you leave, very important. And also, if you care to investigate, down below, down there, is the link to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, as well as our merch page, where we have all sorts of good Sea of Tranquility shirts, all sorts of sizes, styles, colors, lots of different logos and things for all the different shows and whatnot. So go investigate that as well. Hopefully you'll find something you like, and we'll see you real soon here on the channel with more stuff. Stay tuned. Hopefully should have a couple of new album reviews for you here today. Might be a little light today. Got a fairly busy schedule this week with lots of other stuff non-channel related. So we'll see, but I should at least get one or two for you. And then, of course, we got the Monsters Den tomorrow night. And then Friday morning at the Funhouse with Martin Popoff. We'll come at you this Friday. And Sunday, stay tuned for Ranking the Albums. Myself and Jamie Laszlo will be ranking the catalog of Pat Benatar. So that's happening on Sunday. So thanks for watching, everybody. I'm Pete Pardo. We'll see you real soon here. Take care. Bye-bye.